In our history, gunpowder reached Europe around the year 1200, but the formula was written down in China centuries earlier, and Rome traded with the East the whole time. It could have arrived 1,000 years too soon. So what if it did? Rome, with gunpowder. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Rome already had almost everything it needed. It had sulfur from the volcanoes of Sicily. It had charcoal in every forge. It had the best metalworking in the ancient world and trade routes that reached all the way to Han China. The only missing ingredient was one recipe, the right mixture, and the idea that it could be a weapon. Now, the honest part. In our world, even after gunpowder existed, it took centuries to become a real weapon. Early formulas were weak. Early guns exploded and killed their own crews. And Rome ran on slave labor, which meant there was rarely any pressure to invent a man's work. Progress is not automatic. Someone has to be desperate enough or curious enough to push. So let us give Rome that push. With the right ratio, the Roman war machine does what it does best. It standardizes. Within a generation, the legions have real cannon, heavy, ugly, dangerous, but reliable. And a legionary who trains for 2 weeks with a gun can now kill a nobleman who trained for 20 years with a sword. That is not just a new weapon. That is the end of an entire world order. Think about what that means. For 3,000 years, war belonged to whoever could afford armor, horses, and a lifetime of training, the aristocracy. Gunpowder erases that. Suddenly, a farmer with 2 weeks of drill is worth more than a knight. The old warrior elite does not disappear quietly, but it does disappear. And the society built on top of it begins to crack. And here is where it snowballs. To make guns, Rome needs powder. To make powder, it needs saltpeter, so it builds niter beds and powder mills across the empire. To make barrels, it needs foundries that can pour large, reliable bronze. So Roman metallurgy leaps forward by 1,000 years. War, as it always does, drags technology behind it. The Rome that makes cannon is learning to make everything else. But cannon are heavy, brutally heavy. To move them, Rome has to improve everything that carries weight. Stronger roads, wider bridges, better wheels and axles, bigger draft animals bred for hauling. The empire's obsession with moving guns quietly rebuilds its entire infrastructure, and those roads will outlast the guns by 1,000 years. Lucia's single ratio becomes a discipline. Her workshop learns to purify saltpeter, to grain the powder so it burns evenly, to test each batch. They do not call it chemistry, but that is what it is. For the first time, Romans are running controlled experiments, writing down results, and improving them on purpose. The scientific method arrives through the back door of a weapons lab. The moment cannon can knock down a wall, every wall in the world is obsolete overnight. Tall stone ramparts just become bigger targets. So Roman engineers invent the answer our world did not find until the 1500s. Low, thick, angled bastions of packed earth and brick that swallow cannon fire instead of shattering. Fortress design jumps 14 centuries in a single generation. And now, the great turning point of our history simply does not happen. The migrations still come. The Goths, the Huns, the Vandals still hammer the frontier. But a Roman line with artillery does not break the way a Roman line with spears did. The barbarian charge that shattered the empire in our world breaks against cannon in this one. Rome does not fall in 476. Rome does not fall at all. Follow the chain far enough, and it does not stop at war. Standardized gun parts teach Rome mass production. Powder chemistry becomes metallurgy, then medicine, then explosives for mining and building. Printed drill manuals spread literacy through the army. An empire that never fell, now industrializing 13 centuries early, becomes something history has no word for, an ancient superpower running on iron, powder, and print. Push it to today, and you get a world that feels both ancient and industrial at once. cities of iron and marble under a haze of coal smoke, Latin as the language of engineers and chemists, legions that look less like Hollywood and more like riflemen in eagle-crested helmets. A civilization that got the printing press, the factory, and the gun 1,000 years before we did, and never had a dark age to slow it down. And when this Rome finally reaches for the sky, it does it the way it did everything, with brute force and gunpowder in its blood. Its first rocket is not sleek. It is a riveted iron monster streaked with soot, straining at every seam. But painted on its flank is the same eagle the legions carried into the mud 2,000 years before. It roars up on a pillar of dirty fire, and the empire that never fell leaves the earth. But do not romanticize it. The same gunpowder that saved Rome also meant Rome never had to change. An empire that can always outshoot its rivals never has to listen to them. No fall means no fresh start. Just 2,000 years of the same eagle, the same masters, enforced now with cannon instead of swords. We escaped the Mongols by an accident. We lost Alexandria by an accident. And maybe we were spared a gunpowder Rome by one too. History is a chain of tiny accidents. Pull the wrong link, and the whole modern world comes out of the smoke looking like something we would not recognize. So which accident should we rewrite next? A Napoleon who won at Waterloo? Vikings who stayed in America? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe to History Rewritten, and let's keep pulling on the thread of the past, one accident at a time.